Okay, I've actually called this video New Life, and in many ways, yeah, this was a totally new life for me because being back in Brighton and also starting a new relationship with someone who was a great deal younger than I am. And so in the early times of this relationship, I think I had a lot of problems with being that much older than Kieran. But as the years have gone by, and I guess I've got used to it now, and so it doesn't worry me nearly as much. And I've also discovered, since coming onto the internet, that there are a lot of young people who actually like older people, so that made me feel a lot better. One of the things that we did, in buying this house, no, it's not really a house, it's a maisonette. There's a ground floor flat, and then we have the next two floors. So we have the first floor and the second floor. The whole place needed totally decorating, but I was quite happy to do that. Kieran was a little bit nervous about it because it was in a not such a good state of repair. The people who lived here had been squatters, and so they actually took everything that they could possibly take from the building, even down to taking the radiators off the wall. So we had to put in a whole new heating system and redecorate the whole place. One of the things that happened, of course, was that I had to get used to Kieran being away quite a lot with his job, that he doesn't only do short haul flying, he does long haul flying as well. So in those early days I found that quite hard, because he'd go away for a week at a time, and then he'd come back and he'd be tired, and then I would be anxious to try and get to know what everything he'd done and where he'd been, and wanting to do things with him. And often that didn't work that way because he had jet lag for a great deal of the time. So quite a lot of adjusting to that. One of the first holidays that we had together was we went to Las Palmas, and I put some photographs up of our time there, and it was great. It's an amazing island with sand dunes, and it's a great place for gay people to go because there's lots of gay bars and restaurants to go to, and there's also a nudist beach, which I must say that both he and I are very keen on being nudist, being nude whenever we can. So going to this beach was great, and we had a good time there. So that was our first holiday together, and I must say that throughout the years that really we've not had huge disagreements. We are really very well connected with each other and seem to know what the other person really wants to do and how they feel. So that was a new one for me, to be in a relationship where I had this feeling of coming backwards and forwards with our emotions and with our thoughts and ideas. So yeah, that was great. What I want to do is talk a little bit also about the job that I got. For the first sort of few months I didn't actually work, and especially when I got the house here, it needed a lot of time to be doing that up. So, but then after that I started to run out of money, so I thought I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. But caring and looking after people was something that I'd always kind of been interested in doing. So I went for an interview to become a care assistant, and they accepted me, and in those days I think it wasn't nearly as strict as it is now. because one of the things that you have to do is to go into people's homes and to look after them, and that can be all sorts of things. Sometimes it just means shopping for them and then taking the shopping back and putting it away for them, and then other times it meant that you would go in early in the morning and help people to get up. Often that will mean washing them and dressing them, and of course toileting them as well. So it was a very big learning curve for me to do that, having never done that before, but I must say I found it fascinating doing that. And I'll talk in one of my other videos about some of my experiences with that. And I'm so grateful that I did that for the few years that I did, because it taught me an awful lot about what people want when they get older, and often not when they're older, but how you can look after someone and care for them, and to not get totally hooked into their distress or your distress, because often you're having to deal with their emotions, and to not step into their emotions and to stay clear with yourself was a very big thing for me to learn. So I'm going to stop now, because I noticed that my last video went out 3 months ago, and I really can't think why I've left it so long, but when I started to think about doing this video, I thought, yeah, it is something. There was a big change in my life that happened when I met Kieran, and so this new life that I've titled this video as seems to me very apt, and for some reason I needed to have quite a large gap between the last one and this one. So I'll stop now, and I'll tell more at a later date. So have fun. Bye now.